Here's an exercise to help you warm up using a pretty straightforward fingerstyle guitar pattern. I think of it as two birds or perhaps multiple birds with one stone study. One that covers technique, tone, and focus using a combination of an arpeggio pattern and a scale pattern. You can really think of it as maybe a dual exercise that helps you build on two really primary things. Technical fundamentals, either help you develop them or continue to develop them or just stay sharp. But also preparing your mind and your ears, like I said, your focus, getting yourself ready for that practice session, performance, or perhaps a video shoot. So let's break it down. First things first, I am in open D tuning, and for those of you who don't know, I am tuned as such. It's the D, A, D, F sharp, A, D, open D. Strum all six strings, and it sounds like an open D chord. No other fretting required. The reason I landed on this one is simply because I use it a lot. I like it. I have a lot of pieces and arrangements that use this tuning, so it just was a good candidate for me to develop some exercises around it because I'm also often using it to performances, recording sessions, and whatnot. And also, there's a few advantages of using an open tuning like this. So in addition to having these fretted notes, you can really take advantage of the open strings, and that gives you sort of a drone quality or just a natural accompaniment to what you're doing, and really frees up the left-hand fingers to do a little bit more intricate patterns, in this case, that scale. So you don't need to fret anything up here. You can just let those ring out while you're focusing on playing that scale pattern and the right hand as well. So speaking of the left hand, I'm staying in a fixed position. So I have my second finger firmly planted on that third string, third fret. And that, again, just gives me those drones, so I can just let that all ring out while I work on the scale work underneath. The left-hand fingers are going to be responsible for all of the scale notes, as you saw in that intro. I tend to adhere to just common principles of good positioning, meaning that my thumb is just really sitting in the back, middle part of the neck, and then I try to position my wrist in such a way so that I can give my fingers enough space here to curl and really play up off those tips to make sure that I'm fretting the notes in a clean way, no buzzing, nice clear sound. So let's play through that scale real quick on its own. It's just a D major scale. We're an open D, D major scale. Makes perfect sense, right? And it's a combo of fretted and open strings. So we'll just start on the D, open A, open D, back down. When you're first learning this exercise, I would highly recommend you just start with that. I would learn each hand on its own. So I would start with the scale because to me that's a little bit more of the more complicated aspect of it. And also just really hone in on getting your position set. Like I said, making sure your fingers are in a good place and just getting that nice, clean, fluid phrasing all the way through so there's very little or ideally no gaps between the notes at all. Also, I want to point out that getting back to those fundamentals, this is also a good opportunity for you to really focus on the left-hand positioning in terms of economy of motion and minimal movement. So what I mean by that is when you're sitting in this fixed position, you want to keep all these other fingers very close to the strings so they're all ready to go and fret the required notes when their time has come. And as you get faster, that minimize or economy of motion will really pay off. So you don't want to lift up too much. Just always stay in that position. One other bonus I think that comes from an exercise like this is that when you have playing off this pivot finger, or this fixed second finger rather, it pushes you to stretch out these other fingers a little bit more. And I think that's a little bit of an underrated value. We don't really think about it, but it kind of pushes you to expand that your wingspan and the stretchability of that, which will be valuable in other pieces that you play. So the right hand, same thing. I have a fixed position here, and I'm just laying my index on that third string, middle finger on the second string, and the ring finger on the first, and that thumb is going to handle playing all the scale notes. So the picking pattern, or the arpeggio, is just a simple P-I-M-A as you're ascending the scale, and the A-M-I-P as you're descending the scale. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in case it wasn't clear, P is the thumb, I is the index, M is the middle, A is the ring. So P-I-M-A, A-M-I-P. Just like the left hand, I would encourage you to just spend some time on this picking pattern alone. Again, that's an advantage of playing an open D tuning because you don't need to fret anything. Your left hand's here. You can just set that aside momentarily while you get your right hand acquainted with this pattern. So you could start real slow. And again, speaking of that economy of motion, keep those fingers real close to the strings so you don't have any, exaggerated movement so they're getting too far away from the strings. Make sure they're just always in the pocket per se. So this is the P-I-M-A on the ascending, and then you'll switch it, coming back down. And just like the scale passage, make sure that you've got a nice clean sound, even tone. Think about the finger balance with this one as well. It's common that when you're first learning to pick that you might play one finger louder than the other. Usually it's that thumb, that's like the strongest finger in your hand. So you want all the notes to have a nice, even, balanced tone and volume. So there's no spikes, no unevenness there. And you can just gradually get faster until you feel comfortable, until you like what you hear, and then you can move on. So let's put them together, the left hand and the right hand. So getting back to that fixed position, left hand and the right hand, will play the entire exercise one more time. Again, I'll play it through real slow, and then one more time a little bit faster. Keep everything ringing out. And here's where we change the pattern on the way down. And we'll play a little bit faster now. And reverse. So I'd recommend getting really, really comfortable with that, both aspects. And then once you feel good, you've got your fluidity, I would experiment with different velocities. Make sure that you're really in full control, full command of what you're doing. Musically, it's making sense. And then you can vary it. Like if you want, you could just play P-I-M-A all the way through if you want, or P-A-M-I all the way through, reverse them, or make up your own picking pattern. I do recommend varying it though, because you'll find that playing that ascending pattern or the reverse pattern, forward reverse, that one way or the other might be a little more challenging for you, so all the more reason that you should emphasize it. For me, playing that reverse pattern, that A-M-I, it's a little more awkward, so I tend to spend a little more time with that to get my fingers wrapped around it. And as you're working on it, I guess an approach would be, spend about 5-10 minutes working on this before you get into whatever you're going to practice or work on. That's what I do, and I'm very intentional about how I do it. So I'll start slow, gradually speed up, but really focus. So it's almost kind of like a musical meditation of sorts, because you're really just zeroing in not only on the technical aspects but the musical aspects as well. So it gets your ears and your mind really focused and dialed into just playing the guitar in general, and just gets your hands ready to go for what you're about to work on. So that's the exercise. I hope it's helpful to you. It's definitely helpful for me. Like I said, I still use it to go back to those basics and really build up the technical fundamentals for any guitar player, any fingerstyle guitar player. But also, I really focus on just the meditative quality, because you're, in addition to just getting your hands, set to play from a technical aspect, I'm also really working on just getting my ears and my mind focused as well. So you can kind of all put it together. So when you're ready to hit that stage, hit record, whatever you're doing, that you really are prepared and ready to go. So again, hope this is helpful. Thanks for listening, and continue to explore. Hope you find some value in this, and we'll see you next time.